Hey guys, HermdoGG here. We've done it. We completed the Dark Souls trilogy. We know the top 10 hardest bosses of both Dark Souls Remastered and Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. So with only one game left, we have to cover the top 10 hardest bosses of Dark Souls 3. No fancy subtitle. This one really tested my skill and patience in a way I haven't seen since my first playthrough of Dark Souls. So what were the ones to give me the most trouble? Let's start with number 10. Old Demon King is an annoying boss in an annoying location. After cruising the Lake of Death, dodging the giant worm that shoots lightning, you get to face a demon of fire with fast attacks as well as huge AoEs. And every failure has you cruising the Lake of Death again. What's more, when you've just about won, the fucker has one more trick up his sleeve. When he's close to death, he explodes in a huge AoE that does massive damage. The damage was so much, it could actually one-shot me if I wasn't embered and at full health. 8 attempts is enough for me for a while, and enough to earn him his spot on this list. Pontiff is an interesting fight. Annoying to find, but not too hard to get back to. Once you get to him though, he will give you newbies some trouble. He can close the distance pretty quickly and has large sweeping attacks that deal decent damage. Let's also not forget that in his second phase, he summons a copy of himself. You can use this time to get some decent damage on both of them, but if you get too greedy, he will punish you for it. He punished me for 13 deaths, but I managed to take him out on my 14th try. Alright, time for Ornstein Part 3. This time, he's been upgraded. Dragonslayer armor is the last guardian before the Twin Princes, and he takes his job very seriously. Wearing heavy armor, he's pretty resistant to your attacks, and he uses that large shield like a Spartan, treating it like a secondary weapon. Once in the second phase, the dragon spirit thing starts shooting you while he picks up the pace and makes you wonder how he moves so fast in such heavy attire. Combine this with a runback that can either be annoying or easy depending on how much work you put into it. 9 deaths was enough for this guy. Combine this with a runback that can either be annoying or easy depending on how much work you put into it. 9 deaths was enough of this guy for me. Good thing I beat him on my 10th attempt. The Twin Princes. This is a very interesting fight. First you need to take out Lothric, who has large sweeping attacks that can cover a large area and the ability to teleport around the arena. And that's the easy part. Once Lothric is beaten, Lorien revives his brother and starts to ride on his back. So you think Lothric giving his brother a piggyback ride should slow him down, right? Wrong. Now you have to deal with Lothric's constant attacks while dodging Lorien's spells being shot from his back. And look, he beat Lothric again. Should be easy now, right? Nope. Now Lorien is going to revive his brother again. He will keep doing this until you can kill Lorien, which is a little easier said than done. He's hidden behind his brother for most of the fight and is only out in the open when you kill Lothric. So either get good at getting to Lothric's back or hope you have enough DPS to take Lorien out in one cycle. Because the longer this fight goes, the more likely you are to lose. Also should mention that this fight can have one of the hardest runbacks in the game. If you're stupid like me and don't realize there's a shortcut elevator right by the boss that can take you to and from the bonfire. Anyways, I only did the hard runback 4 times, so that's a plus. Okay, I might be the only one who thought this boss was difficult, but hear me out. The fight starts pretty easily with you one-on-one with the boss, smack him a couple of times while dodging spells. Pretty easy. Then they teleport away. Next when they appear, there are now multiple of them, but only one is the correct one. Just gotta find the real one now. Easy, right? Look! The real one's spells are purple and the illusions are blue. Piece of cake and oh my god, why is there so much spell spam? This is where the difficulty of this boss comes from. The spells come flying, and several are homing, with fast spells dealing decent damage and slow spells that can one-shot you if you have not invested in vitality enough. The clothes go down in one hit, so you can take them out to make it easier, but it may also just be easier to focus on the real sage the entire time. Honestly, gonna depend on your playstyle for this one. Also, the runback is a little annoying. Not too difficult, but running through these guys repeatedly can get on your nerves. Like it did for me 9 times, I had to run through them. Plus the last time when I had to run through them after dying to the boss on the last hit. Okay, Champion Gundyr. Upgraded version of the tutorial boss. Or is this like the tutorial boss in the past? Honestly, I'm not sure. Should be an easy boss. And why am I getting kicked to death? Champion Gundyr may look like Eodix Gundyr. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. But this fight is so much harder. While he has a similar moveset, he's so much faster and hits so much harder. His aggression just never stops, and he rarely gives you a chance to recover. In fact, he will immediately try to prevent you from healing if you even try, including cutting his combo short to hit you out of your healing animation. This man brings new meaning to getting your ass kicked. This asshole kicked me over 20 times, easily earning his spot on this list. The mandatory Souls game DLC Dragon. And this one is probably the hardest of the three. Midir is fought in a large arena that plays perfectly to his strengths. He can cover large areas with AoE attacks and can close the distance on you quickly, as well as create distance when he needs to back off. He can be difficult to read at first, but eventually he becomes more predictable. His second phase is initiated by a large AoE attack that can easily wipe out most low vitality players in an instant, and can sucker most new players in pretty easily. Add some spell dodging while also dodging his normal attacks, and you may feel like all your stamina is used to roll around and run away. But persevere, and you too can take down arguably one of the hardest bosses in the Souls trilogy. And after 30 attempts, that's what I can say I did. Now before we get into the top 3, I just gotta ask if you would consider subscribing. Majority of my views on my videos come from non-subscribers, and I would really like to flip that number around the other way. Also, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the video, and let's get back to it. Here's number 3. Now I know we just talked about Midir, a large dragon created to eat the Abyss, which caused him to be corrupted. And now I'm talking about the 4th mandatory boss in the game, but hear me out. The Abyss Watchers are fast and can catch up to you pretty quickly to stop you from healing. Add to that, after 20 seconds, a second Watcher spawns with its own health bar. You only need to kill the first one, but a second being there really puts you on the back foot. After another 20 seconds, a third Watcher will spawn, and here's where it gets tricky. The third Watcher will have glowing red eyes and target the first Watcher. Great, right? Except sometimes he'll randomly target you instead. And if you accidentally hit the third Watcher, then you become his target no matter what. So you successfully killed the first Watcher. Victory, right? Wrong. This is also the first boss to introduce a new mechanic to the Souls series, a second life bar. One that appears after completing the first, indicating you didn't win the fight, you only got past phase 1. Second phase isn't much better either. There's only one Watcher now, but he's fast and now has flames on his sword to increase the pain you'll be receiving. I hope you don't mind burned to death repeatedly. It took me 40 attempts to get past this boss fight, more than almost all other bosses in the game, and more than most other bosses combined. For all those reasons, I'm placing Abyss Watchers as number 3.
Last try of the night. He's dead.
Remember that whole 2 health bar thing? How about 3? Sister Fried has 3 distinct phases, each with their own health bar and gimmick. For the first phase, Fried fights you one-on-one with her scythe, often disappearing to sneak up on you for massive damage. If you pay attention, you can find her and use this opportunity to get in some damage of your own, but fail this, and it can turn the tides against you real quick. For the second phase, Father Ariandel wakes up and attacks you with Fried offering support. This is probably the easiest phase, as Ariandel is weak to every damage type in the game. If you have the DPS, you can whittle him down pretty quickly. Just watch out for Fried. She can attack from a distance with frost damage or sneak up close to slice you with her scythe. She'll also try to heal Ariandel every once in a while too. You can either try to out DPS the heal or attack her real quick to stop the healing. The 2 share a health bar in this phase, so any damage to one is damage to both. Phase 3 is where we kick it into high gear. It's one-on-one with Fried again, and this time she has frost and black flame at her disposal. Lingering flame effects now follow many of her attacks and combos, and the potential to be frostbitten during this phase only increases the difficulty. Sister Fried was truly a test of my patience, but after 41 attempts, she went down and I completed the first DLC. Felt good. Got her. Now, a quick honorable mention, mostly because I didn't know if I should have even considered this boss for the list for many reasons. Half-Light, Spear of the Church, is not a normal boss. He was designed around PvP, and while there is a boss to fight if you're offline or no players are available, I haven't actually seen it. I faced him one time, and the player that showed up was AFK, so I guess I won. Also, I was secretly dreading this boss as I suck at PvP, and it was like someone new and just wanted to give me a victory so I could move on. So thanks, you mad bro. Thank you very much. Anyways. You probably guessed it by now, as I haven't mentioned him yet in this video. Surely he can't be one of those god gamers who thinks Nameless is easy. Yeah, you're right. Nameless kicked my ass all over his arena. Starting with facing the King of the Storm in the first phase, it's really the first time you're forced to fight something that attacks you mostly from a distance. You need to dodge and get your attacks in when you get the opportunity. But the chicken is easy, at least compared to what comes next. The King himself takes up his blade against you in a one-on-one fight to the death. He's fast, he hits like a truck, he can combo you down, and he has lightning on his side. Some believe the King is Gwyn's son who joined the Dragons. And I say that must be true. Something this powerful on the Dragon's side. I'm surprised they did not win the war. After all, he killed me 69 times. But on lucky number 70, he went down, and I walked away with renewed vigor for the rest of the game. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider checking out my other top 10s for Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, and Bloodborne. And come join the live streams on Friday nights where we play more Soulsborne and Souls-like games. So once again, I am HermdoGG. You can actually buy this shirt and several others I designed down in the link below. And I'll catch you guys next time. Take care now. Bye-bye then.